My name is Lydia R. Ireland. I'm 29 years old, and I work as a network security consultant for mid-sized companies around Seattle. It is stable work, decent pay, nothing glamorous, but I have always liked things that make sense. Systems, patterns, vulnerabilities, places where something looks normal until you look closer and realize the whole structure is exposed. I had been with my boyfriend, Ethan Walker, for 3 years. We met at a coffee shop downtown, where he worked part-time while finishing his business degree. He was funny, ambitious, handsome in this effortless way that made people forgive him before he even apologized. He could walk into a room and make strangers feel like they had been waiting for him. I was quieter, more practical. The kind of woman who checked locks twice and paid bills before they were due. We moved in together about 18 months ago. Things were not perfect, but I thought we were solid. We had routines. Grocery runs on Sundays, takeout on Fridays, quiet mornings where he would drink coffee beside me while I answered emails. I thought that counted for something. I thought living together meant we were building towards something, not just sharing rent while one of us looked for a better exit. That night started like any other Friday, except Ethan had been talking about this party for 2 weeks. His college friend Brandon was hosting it at an upscale loft in Capitol Hill, and Ethan seemed unusually excited. He kept saying everyone would be there. People from school, people from networking events, people he had not seen in years. I did not think much of it at first. He had been dressing up more lately, buying new shirts, spending extra time on his hair, wearing cologne before errands. I told myself he just wanted to look good around old friends. Around 7:30, he was in the bathroom fixing his hair. I was in the bedroom changing into dark jeans and a blouse, trying to look casual but still nice enough not to embarrass him in front of people I barely knew. That was when he said it. "Hey, Lydia." His voice came through the half-open door, casual, like he was asking me to bring him a towel. "Yeah?" "At the party tonight," he said, still looking into the mirror. "Can you just act like you're not with me?" I stopped buttoning my sleeve. "What?" He stepped out, running a hand through his hair. "I mean, don't be all couple. Just mingle separately. It'll be more fun that way." I stared at him. He was wearing a fitted black shirt I had never seen before, sleeves rolled just enough to look intentional. He looked good. Too good for someone supposedly just going to a friend's party. "You want me to pretend we're not together?" I asked. "It's not like that," he said quickly, turning back toward the mirror. "I just don't want it to be weird." "Weird for who? Some of my friends don't really know about us yet." I almost laughed. "Ethan, we've been together 3 years. We live together." "I know," he said, but his eyes stayed on his reflection. "Just trust me, okay? It's easier this way." I stood there for maybe 30 seconds, running through every response I could have given. I could have asked why I was suddenly a secret. I could have demanded names. I could have refused to go. But something colder than anger settled in me. Maybe pride. Maybe exhaustion. Maybe the part of me that had been quietly collecting evidence for months finally understood the case. "Okay," I said. He glanced at me in the mirror, surprised. "Really?" "Yeah," I replied. "No problem." 20 minutes later, I pulled up outside the loft building. Music thumped from an upper floor, low and heavy through the glass. Ethan checked his phone, smiled at whatever he saw, then opened the car door. "Thanks for the ride," he said. "Not see you inside. Not come on. Not you look beautiful. Thanks for the ride." "Have fun," I said. He hesitated for 1 second, maybe sensing something off in my voice. Then he smiled, got out, and walked toward the entrance while typing on his phone. The door closed behind him. I sat there with both hands on the steering wheel, engine still running, staring at the place where he had disappeared. Then I put the car in drive and went home. The apartment felt different when I walked in alone. Quieter, but not peaceful. I stood in the kitchen for 5 minutes, listening to the refrigerator hum, and all at once every small thing I had ignored lined up in front of me. The way he pulled away when I reached for his hand in public. The way he stopped posting pictures of us. The vague answers when I asked about his day. The new clothes. The late replies. The sudden privacy. This was not about one party. I went to the bedroom and pulled my old duffel bag from the closet. I packed clothes, toiletries, my laptop, important documents. I was not frantic. I was methodical. That scared me a little. How calm I felt. Like some part of me had already left before my body caught up. I left most of the furniture because most of it was his, or paid for by his parents when we moved in. Then I wrote a note and placed it on the kitchen counter. You wanted to act like we weren't together. Now you don't have to act. Take care of yourself. By 10:30, I was checked into a Holiday Inn near the airport. I texted my friend Connor that I might need a couch soon. He replied within minutes, asking what happened. I did not call. I just sat on the hotel bed, watching my phone battery drain, waiting for a message from Ethan that never came. At 1:15 inches the morning, my phone buzzed. Unknown number. I answered carefully. Hello? A man's voice came through, anxious and slightly slurred. Lydia? It's Brandon, Ethan's friend. I'm at the party. My heart started pounding. What happened? He took a breath. You need to know what your boyfriend did tonight. Brandon's voice lowered, like he had stepped away from the noise, but I could still hear the party behind him. Music pulsing, people laughing, glasses clinking. There's this woman here, he said. Her name is Trisha Vale. She's some tech startup founder. Rich, confident, drives a Porsche, the whole thing. Ethan has apparently been talking to her for 2 months. 2 months. I closed my eyes. The new clothes. The hidden phone. The way he had started checking his reflection before leaving to buy groceries. I didn't know, Brandon continued quickly. I swear I didn't. My roommate told me tonight. But Ethan invited her here, Lydia. And he's been all over her. Like really all over her. My throat went dry. Okay, but that's not even the worst part, he said. About an hour ago, Trisha got drunk and started bragging. She told people she and Ethan have this arrangement. That he's basically auditioning to be her boyfriend because she told him she needs someone low maintenance and fun who won't cramp her lifestyle. She said he's been trying to prove he's not clingy. I sat up straighter on the hotel bed. The room suddenly too bright, too small. Then she said Ethan told her he had dead weight to cut loose before they could get serious. Dead weight. The words landed quietly. But they did not leave quietly. Everyone heard it, Brandon said. People started looking around for you. Someone asked where his girlfriend was, and Trisha laughed and said, What girlfriend? Ethan went pale. Then he tried to backtrack and said you were just a roommate. But people know you two live together. It got ugly fast. I stared at the blank hotel wall. Where is he now? He locked himself in the bathroom, Brandon said. He's been in there for 20 minutes, texting someone. Probably you. I looked at my phone screen. Nothing from Ethan. I just thought you should know, Brandon said. I'm sorry, Lydia. Really. Thank you, I whispered. After we hung up, I waited 1 more minute, as if the universe might still offer me a final message, a confession, anything. My phone stayed silent, so I turned it off and went to sleep. Saturday morning, I woke up to 17 missed calls and 32 text messages. Most were from Ethan, starting around 1:45 a.m. and continuing until sunrise. Where are you, Lydia? This isn't funny. Answer your phone. I came home and your stuff is gone. What the hell? Did you really leave over nothing? You're being immature. Call me back. We need to talk. The last message, sent at 5:28 a.m., just said, Please. There were also messages from his mother, his sister, and Connor. Connor said, Ethan showed up here at 6 a.m., crying. I didn't let him in. Told him I don't know where you are. Want me to keep it that way? I replied, Yes. Thank you. Then I blocked Ethan's number, blocked him on Instagram, Facebook, everywhere. I spent that day apartment hunting online. By Sunday afternoon, I signed a lease on a small 1-bedroom in Fremont. It was more expensive than I wanted, but it was available immediately. I moved in that evening with my duffel bag and an air mattress Connor lent me. Monday morning, I went to work like normal. My boss noticed I looked tired, but did not pry. I threw myself into configuring firewalls for a medical office, and for the first time in days, I felt comforted by something simple. A threat could be identified. A vulnerability could be closed. A system could be protected if you were willing to stop pretending the breach had not happened. Tuesday evening, Brandon called again. "I know you probably don't want updates," he said, "but you should know Ethan's telling people you left because you were controlling and jealous." I laughed, actually laughed. Of course he is. It's not landing the way he thinks. Too many people saw what happened Friday. Trisha has been avoiding his calls, too. Guess she's not interested in someone who got exposed as a liar in front of everyone. Good for her, I said. And meant it. There's one more thing, Brandon added. He's posting cryptic stuff online about toxic relationships and finally being free. Just be aware. I deleted social media for now, but thanks. After we hung up, I sat on the air mattress and finally let myself feel everything. The betrayal, the embarrassment, the anger, the strange grief of realizing someone you loved had been auditioning for a different life while sleeping beside you every night. Then I ordered pizza, watched old episodes of The Office, and fell asleep before the second episode ended. 3 weeks later, Connor invited me to a barbecue. I almost said no, but he insisted I needed to get out. That was where I met Harper. He was a graphic designer with short auburn hair, a dry sense of humor, and a calmness that did not feel rehearsed. We talked about nothing important: pizza toppings, bad movies, whether hot dogs were sandwiches. It was easy, normal. Eventually, he said, "Connor told me you went through a breakup recently." "He did, huh?" "He's not subtle," Harper said. "You don't have to talk about it. It ended abruptly." I said, "His loss," Harper replied, then immediately looked embarrassed. "Sorry, that was presumptuous." "No," I said. "I appreciate it." We exchanged numbers, and for the first time in a long time, a new conversation did not feel like pressure. It just felt like air. Meanwhile, through Connor, I heard Ethan had been calling mutual friends trying to find out where I lived. He drove by Connor's place twice, looking for my car. Then one Friday, in late November, I got a call from an unknown number. Against my better judgment, I answered. "Lydia?" It was Michelle, Ethan's sister. "I know you probably don't want to hear from any of us, but I needed to call. Ethan told Mom and Dad that you left him because you found someone else. He said you were cheating and that's why you moved out so fast." "Of course he did." "I don't believe him," Michelle said firmly. "I know my brother. I've watched him lie his way out of things since we were kids. I just wanted you to know that I know his version cannot be the whole truth." That meant more than I expected. She told me Ethan was miserable, that Trisha had ghosted him after the party, that he could barely afford the apartment without my half of the rent, and that everyone who had been there knew what he did. I did not feel triumphant, just sad. It has been 4 months now. I am writing this from my apartment in Fremont. I bought a real bed, some furniture from IKEA, hung up a few posters, and it is starting to feel like home. Harper and I have been on a few dates. Nothing serious yet, but we are taking our time. He knows the basic outline of what happened with Ethan, but I do not dwell on it. We have better things to talk about. Brandon has become a genuine friend through all this. He told me Ethan moved back in with his parents in January. He could not afford the apartment alone, and his credit cards were maxed out from all the clothes and lifestyle upgrades he bought while trying to impress Trisha. Last week I received a letter in the mail, forwarded from Connor's address. Ethan's handwriting. I sat with it for 2 days before opening it. Inside was a full-page apology. He called himself selfish. He said he got caught up in the idea of something better and lost sight of what mattered. He said Trisha made him feel exciting and valuable, and he had convinced himself that meant love. I read it twice, then put it in my desk drawer. Maybe I will respond someday. Maybe I will not. Connor asked me if I felt like I got closure. I told him I did not need it. Closure is overrated. Sometimes things just end, and you move forward, and that is enough. I am doing okay. Better than okay, actually. I have been running again. something I gave up when Ethan and I moved in together because he thought it was boring. I read more, I sleep better, I laugh easier. I do not check my phone compulsively anymore. The strange thing is, I am not even angry now. That first night, driving home after dropping Ethan off at the party, I felt something shift inside me. Not rage, not sadness, just a calm certainty that I deserved better. So when he said, "At the party, act like you're not with me," I took his advice to heart, and I have not looked back since.